Mr. Speaker, this past year has been incredibly challenging. 1 year ago, we witnessed the launch of an unprovoked and unjustified trade war at the hands of our closest ally. The trade war and rupture of the world order continue to have ripple effects that are being felt around the world. This budget is different from our past budgets because this moment is different. We are in a period of serious fiscal pressure. Global uncertainty is slowing growth. Commodity markets are volatile. The housing market has cooled. And at the same time, costs are rising for everything from healthcare to building infrastructure. And British Columbians are feeling it too. Families are stretched by the cost of living. We must be disciplined, focused, and honest about the choices ahead. We must assume this pressure on our revenue is the new normal and operate accordingly. And in this budget, we have done that. Our priorities are clear: protect and improve core public services that people rely on, like healthcare and education. Keep BC one of the lowest taxed provinces for middle and working class families. Reduce the deficit responsibly over time while protecting what's working. And to achieve this, we are taking 3 key steps. First, we will make the public sector leaner, so more dollars reach the front lines. Second, we will pace infrastructure projects carefully, delivering them efficiently without driving up costs. Third, we will make changes to generate new revenue while taking action to grow the economy and secure the long-term impact of major projects. This is about making careful choices now to avoid more difficult choices later. Mr. Speaker, over the last 8 years, we've built the foundations a strong province depends on. Hospitals, schools, roads, transit, housing, and clean electricity are being delivered to support communities and good jobs throughout British Columbia. This was done at a time when the BC economy was being hit simultaneously by numerous disruptions: a global pandemic, soaring inflation, devastating wildfires and flooding, and now an unprovoked trade war. We entered this period from a position of strength with one of the lowest debt-to-GDP ratios in the country, and this gave us room to absorb shocks and to invest. We were able to deliver income support, ICBC rebates, and affordability measures when it was needed most. Our government delivered the BC Family Benefit to help with the costs of raising children. We cut childcare fees in more than half. Car insurance rates were dramatically reduced. These measures helped ease the hit on households. Today, housing costs are coming down from peak levels. Rent prices are falling faster here than anywhere else in the country. Children are learning in new schools. We've created 23,500 new seats, with another 23,500 on the way. People are receiving treatment in 14 new and improved hospitals, with 20 more coming. They're also accessing healthcare in 41 new urgent and primary care centers, with 5 more to come. Rapid transit projects like the Surrey-Langley SkyTrain extension and the Broadway Subway project will get people to the places they need to go faster. Mr. Speaker, a lot of progress has been made to improve life and to bring down costs, but we know that many families are struggling. People keep working harder, but they don't feel like they're getting further ahead. The cost of everyday life keeps going up, especially at the grocery store. This year, we will bring forward legislation to ban the property controls that restrict businesses from selling fresh food near grocery stores, spurring more competition and getting food prices down. We are also introducing legislation to make it easier for businesses to move goods and provide services across provincial borders. Barriers between provinces that complicate trade make it harder to process food locally, which limits competition and again drives up prices. By strengthening supply chains, making the food we eat here at home, and allowing more competition across provincial lines, we can address some of the structural reasons for high food costs. Mr. Speaker, this budget is also about facing our fiscal reality with clarity. As times change, so must our approach. BC's economy has many strengths, but it also has many big challenges. We must make strategic choices about where we spend our resources. We are scrutinizing government spending and ensuring as many dollars as possible reach the front lines in classrooms and in emergency rooms. When it comes to our fiscal position, Budget 2026 reduces the deficit over time, carefully and thoughtfully. So how do we achieve this? We do it through making disciplined decisions. As many families make careful decisions to keep their household finances in order, so too must we. We have begun a multi-step process to adjust government spending to respond to the fiscal reality we face. This includes reducing operational and administrative costs and saving on contracting, hiring, and travel. We're continuing a hiring freeze in the public service. We've launched reviews across the public sector at health authorities, through post-secondary institutions, and through Clean BC. Budget 2026 continues this work. This means reducing staff levels across the public sector by 15,000 full-time positions over the next few years. We are making careful decisions about where these reductions will take place. We will protect our vital frontline services in areas like healthcare and education while reducing bureaucracy and administration. We are also adjusting the pace of our capital plan to protect our ability to deliver projects over the long term. This is not about stopping. We will continue to outpace other provinces in per capita investments in schools, childcare centres, and transit. We will keep opening new hospitals and will break ground on a permanent home for SFU's medical school in Surrey this year. This is about adjusting the pace of some of the things we want to do so that we can do what we need to do to secure BC's future. Under our government, BC is among the lowest taxed provinces in Canada for working and middle-class families, and this budget doesn't change that. We made the right choices to cancel the carbon tax and to bring down housing costs, keeping more money in people's pockets. But the reality facing every province is the same. Growth has not kept pace with the cost of delivering public services. If we want to protect healthcare, schools, childcare, and the services that people rely on, we need to rebuild a stable and sustainable revenue base. And that's what Budget 2026 does. It makes careful tax changes so we can protect services and avoid deep cuts while keeping BC competitive. People earning under $149,000 will continue to pay the lowest personal income taxes in the country. Budget 2026 includes a change to the first income tax bracket of about 0.5 percentage point. We'll offset the extra costs for lower income earners by increasing the BC tax reduction credit. We're also updating some household-related taxes, some housing-related taxes. Those with homes above $3 million in value will be asked to contribute a little more. The property tax deferment program is being changed to help those who need it most, and the vast majority of homeowners see no change. Mr. Speaker, these are careful, considered choices. At a time of global uncertainty, Budget 2026 is about protecting what matters most and building on BC's strengths. Mr. Speaker, because we refuse to balance the books on the backs of families, the path forward is clear. Grow the economy and grow it with urgency and purpose. When more people are working, when wages are rising, and when investment is landing in our communities, families are better off, and government has the resources to protect the services that people count on. British Columbia starts from a position of strength. We have abundant natural resources, clean and reliable electricity, and ports that connect us directly to the fastest growing markets in the world. Most importantly, we have people who are hardworking, entrepreneurial, and ready to deliver on the world stage. That strength is already translating into real results. New mines and LNG projects are reaching final investment decisions. Major projects are advancing. Capital is choosing BC. We're determined to make that growth work for people. That means new training opportunities, more pathways into good-paying jobs, and a clear plan to ensure that British Columbians are first in line for the opportunities ahead. Over the next 24 months, BC is projected to be the second fastest growing province in terms of GDP in Canada. Our job is to turn that momentum into lasting prosperity and to build a stronger, more self-reliant economy that works for everyone. Mr. Speaker, this is how we build that strong, secure future. A future with homes you can afford, jobs with good pay, healthcare when and where you need it, an economy that works for everyone, not just the few. To deliver on that future, we need to start with a strong foundation for growth. We need to move more projects ahead faster, invest in skills training, and improve BC's position as a desirable place to invest. In moments like this, British Columbians know we can't just sit back and hope. We must build, because building is how we protect our future. And to build, we need power, clean, affordable, reliable power. And we're ready to step up. BC Hydro's 2025 call for power drew nearly double the targeted energy, with 14 proposals totaling over 9,100 gigawatt hours a year, enough to power about 900,000 homes. The North Coast Transmission Line is a nation-building project that will deliver clean energy to power port expansions, LNG facilities, and mines. And it will be built in true partnership with First Nations. It's grounded in recent agreements that reflect shared decision-making, shared benefits, and in some cases, co-ownership. Once operational, it's expected to contribute nearly $10 billion per year to GDP and generate $950 million a year in revenue. It will create almost 10,000 direct jobs per year on average and reduce emissions by about 2 to 3 million tons of carbon dioxide per year. This line creates the certainty companies need to make final investment decisions, and it ensures opportunity translates into jobs and lasting benefits for local communities. As our trade mission to Asia last year made clear, growing economies also need access to energy. They are looking for BC's LNG to meet energy demand and support the transition to a cleaner economy. Our LNG has one of the lowest carbon footprints in the world, thanks to electrification. 6 major LNG projects are complete, underway, or reaching final investment decisions this year. We're doing all of this in partnership with First Nations, moving projects forward with confidence and with clarity. Mr. Speaker, with certainty on power, mines can move from concept to construction. Last year, we saw a record-breaking $750 million invested in mineral exploration in BC. For too long, mining projects were tied up in delays and inefficient processes. We have made significant progress on speeding up approvals. In 2025, almost 35% more exploration permits were issued than in 2024. We also reduced timelines for major mine applications by 35%. Let me give you an example of what that looks like on the ground. The Mount Milligan copper-gold mine expansion near Fort St. James had its permitting times cut in half. This expansion supports the existing 574 jobs and as much as $400 million in projected capital spending. Centerra Gold's CEO told us that this was a strong example of what can be accomplished when governments, First Nations, and industry work together in support of responsible resource development. I know how important it is for businesses and government to work together. We heard that permitting times were creating problems for the industry. We listened and we fixed it. In January, our government announced new fixed permitting timelines and an additional $3 million to expedite approvals in the mining industry. Budget 2026 also includes more than $40 million over 3 years to address urgent capacity needs, reduce duplication, and slash the permitting backlog. On top of that, we're introducing new tax credits to align regulations with the federal government and continue to support our mining industry. With all of these exciting projects moving forward, it's no question that we're on the cusp of a huge demand for skilled people. Mr. Speaker, this is where we are making some of our biggest investments, because investing in young people is investing in our future. Budget 2026 includes $241 million in new funding over 3 years to train people for in-demand skills and higher wages. This will address wait lists, increase per-seat funding, and expand skilled trades certification. That means more spots will be available within the next 2 years for people to train for these high-paying, in-demand jobs. I think about people like Gord, who had been working in an Amazon warehouse, earning $20 an hour, moving boxes. He did some entry-level training on welding and got some jobs out of that, and then did the next level and the next, and eventually got his red seal. Now, Gord earns more than $150,000 a year, and his life's been transformed by the opportunity that trades training gave him. For young people trying to make ends meet, a new high-paying job provides security, financial freedom, and an opportunity to build a life in their community. For communities, it means the wealth generated circulates and multiplies locally, supporting local businesses. All of this from a high-paying, reliable job. As the economic engine of a more independent economy, British Columbia needs to have an attractive business environment for investors and entrepreneurs. I believe that investing and growing in BC is one of the smartest and safest decisions investors can make. Look at Photonic, a quantum technology company based in Coquitlam. Founder Dr. Stephanie Simmons said she started her company in BC because it's the best place to recruit top-tier quantum talent and leverage local academic research. With its new approach to quantum computing, Photonic has raised $375 million since 2016. In fact, it just had one of the largest quantum technology finances ever announced in Canada, raising $180 million in its latest investment round. The federal government has been clear that provinces must participate financially to access federal stimulus funding. That's why Budget 2026 commits to allocating $400 million to a special account so that we can quickly capitalize on federal funding opportunities. This could leverage billions in federal stimulus funding and private sector investment. This funding is critical to building a stronger, more secure future for the people of BC. Mr. Speaker, another critical part of building a stronger, more secure future is getting the most value out of our natural resources. Our manufacturers have the skills and expertise to do just that by processing and refining our made-in-BC materials into something even more valuable. There are nearly 20,000 manufacturing businesses in BC, employing more than 170,000 people. And the sector is expected to grow by another 50,000 jobs in the next decade. That's more people like Ted. He's the founder of Spearhead Timberworks in Nelson, who I met when I visited his business. He has an incredible operation, specializing in designing and fabricating architectural timber and steel. Spearhead received $7.5 million from our Manufacturing Jobs Fund, which will help them add state-of-the-art product lines and increase capacity to fabricate the complex, high-value timber projects using BC wood. A new manufacturing and processing investment tax credit will help manufacturers like Ted invest in productivity and innovation so they can continue to do what they do best. Some of our largest manufacturers are in the maritime industry. BC's maritime sector is the biggest in Canada, employing more than 34,000 people. And there are more opportunities on the horizon as the federal government increases defense spending. Through the Look West strategy, we're aiming to secure 35% of federal defense vessel contracts in 10 years. And to do that, shipbuilders need more support. Budget 2026 extends the shipbuilding and ship repair tax credit. This credit supports employers hiring shipbuilding and ship repair apprentices, securing a sustainable future for the industry. We're also supporting innovators, scientists, and entrepreneurs by updating the Scientific Research and Development Tax Credit to align with federal changes. It's by supporting our innovators, our manufacturers, and our businesses that we continue to move BC forward. Mr. Speaker, I hope you're not Mr. Streaker. Is there something we don't know, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, a strong economy is about more than statistics and forecasts. It's about taking care of people. It's about creating the wealth we need to improve and protect vital services. And when it comes to vital services, healthcare is at the top of the list. It's also facing big challenges. Demographics are shifting. Healthcare workers are retiring. The cost of providing care is increasing. Our government has been working hard to make sure that British Columbians can access the care they need when they need it. A lot of progress has been made. For one, we're building the workforce of tomorrow. This summer, we'll welcome the very first class of medical students to the new SFU Medical School in Surrey. And in the year ahead, we expect to break ground on the school's permanent home. We're starting to see results that matter. Every day, hundreds of people in BC are getting a phone call or email letting them know that they have a new family doctor or nurse practitioner. This is in addition to the hundreds of maintenance and renovation projects to modernize and upgrade hospitals throughout our province. These projects represent the largest investment in healthcare infrastructure in BC history, but we know there is still much more to do. We must remain focused on protecting what we've built and delivering better, faster healthcare for people. This spring, as part of a national pharmacare agreement, BC will provide enhanced public coverage for both menopausal hormone therapy and a wide range of diabetes medication and devices. We are also continuing to fund in vitro fertilization treatments so people can start a family. But we also know that the system cannot simply keep doing the same things and be sustainable over the long term. Let us be clear, privatization or a US-style two-tier system is not an option for British Columbia. We must always be in a place where we can take care of each other, no matter how much money someone has. And that's why your government is making responsible choices to reform care, not to cut or privatize it. A comprehensive review of health authorities is identifying administrative duplication and redirecting savings to the front lines. And since the review began, 1,100 administrative positions have been eliminated, closed, or left vacant, and the savings are being invested in frontline patient care. Responsible choices also mean earlier intervention, so people can get help before they end up in hospital. It means bolstering community-based services so fewer people depend on emergency care. Because British Columbians deserve a healthcare system that they can rely on today and into the future. Mr. Speaker, every baby born in BC is something to cherish. Becoming a parent is one of the biggest adventures and most rewarding chapters that many of us will ever take. We know that finding affordable childcare can be a worry for new parents, and we've been working hard to make it easier for families to access affordable, high-quality childcare close to home. Since 2018, families have accessed nearly 58,000 new licensed care spaces throughout BC. BC's childcare affordability programs are saving families an average of $7,200 per year on childcare costs and helping people access childcare when they need it most. People like Rachel. Rachel's a single mom who was laid off right after she returned from maternity leave. Finances were extremely tight, and she was considering pulling her child out of childcare to make ends meet. But a phone call to the Affordable Childcare Benefit Line changed everything. Rachel learned she was eligible for 6 months of childcare subsidy while she searched for work. And she got a new job. Her child is still in childcare, and she no longer needs the subsidy. That's what these programs are about, providing people like Rachel with the support when they need it and where they need it. Budget 2026 invests $330 million over 3 years to protect the progress that we've made and to stabilize the childcare services that people rely on. As we build a bright future for our children, we need to make sure that children have everything they need in the present. A good education is a fundamental part of that. Budget 2026 commits to protecting the progress that we've made and doing more. New funding of $634 million is being provided for the K-12 system. including $167 million for the Classroom Enhancement Fund over 3 years. This means more teachers, including special education teachers, counselors, for students with support needs. Mr. Speaker, we want all young people to have access to the supports they need to live a full and happy life. Today, many are facing increasing pressures and need access to mental health supports. Our government is focusing on early interventions so young people can get the help they need as early as possible. We're expanding our network of in-person and virtual health wellness supports for young people and their families. We're establishing integrated child and youth teams in communities throughout the province so young people and their families can connect to the care they need when and where they need it. We are hiring additional specialists to support young people at more than 50 locations across all health authorities. Mr. Speaker, Budget 2026 protects the things that matter most. And for our government, housing has always been a top priority. We've been very clear about that. We have spent years reversing the damage of an overheated housing market. More affordable rentals have been built than ever before. We took on foreign speculation in the housing market. Vacant units have become homes. New supportive housing and shelter spaces have brought people in out of the cold. Combined, these measures are creating about 95,000 new homes. Budget 2026 continues this progress, committing more than $2 billion each year to keep delivering more homes for people. Mr. Speaker, British Columbia consistently ranks as one of the most desirable places to live. A lot of factors go into that: healthcare, education, job opportunities, but people need to feel safe in their communities. When it comes to community safety, we're facing big challenges. To reduce street crime, we've strengthened enforcement and bail rules, helping people move indoors and improving access to mental health care. Crime rates are coming down, but we know there is still much, much more to do here. It's often a small number of people committing most of the petty crime, and that's why Budget 2026 includes a $139 million investment over 3 years to help with community-specific safety concerns in neighborhoods throughout BC. Budget 2026 also expands treatment and recovery services. BC is opening 100 more involuntary care beds in Surrey and Prince George to support people with complex needs, with 28 already operating in Maple Ridge and Surrey. This is part of a larger effort to tackle the toxic drug crisis by expanding treatment and recovery options, helping people rebuild their lives. The extortion crisis has families south of the Fraser living with fear and intimidation, and we are taking immediate action to protect people. We've brought together a BC Extortion Task Force, the largest of its kind in BC's history. We met with the federal government, which committed more specialized officers and dedicated RCMP helicopter support for police on the ground. We've invested $500,000 to strengthen victim supports, and the federal government is matching that. We are also calling on the federal government to close loopholes in our immigration laws and strengthen criminal law so that no suspects can file for fake refugee status. And so those who are arrested will stay in jail. We're establishing a community advisory group to listen to community concerns and connect with law enforcement and government so people in our communities are heard, supported, and safe. There are more police on the street in Surrey right now than ever before, and that means more patrols, stops, and targeted enforcement so that people will be safer in their own communities. Mr. Speaker, in a world of uncertainty, Budget 2026 makes careful choices to protect what matters most and build a strong future. As our Olympic athletes compete halfway around the world, and as we get set to welcome the World Cup to BC, I have a deep sense of pride. Pride in British Columbians, pride in what we've achieved so far. BC is a proud member of Team Canada. Being part of the team means moving forward on major nation-building, job-creating projects. It means leading the way on opening up interprovincial trade. It means working with the federal government and other provinces to create a stronger, more independent Canadian economy. And it means choosing unity over division. British Columbians know that division weakens us all. We know that our strength comes from standing together, united, as proud Canadians. This is a turning point. Every generation of British Columbians has faced challenges. Every generation has been asked to step up, to seize opportunities, and to make life better for the next. This generation faces uncertainty unlike in any recent memory. The road ahead will not always be easy, but Mr. Speaker, when I look around at other places, there is nowhere else I'd rather be, because we've got it all. With a steady hand, careful decisions, and smart investments, we won't just navigate uncertainty. We'll shape a stronger, brighter future for all British Columbians. Thank you.